So now, one of the things I want to make sure you guys are doing is really keeping a unique control of your company account and how your company's is structured. Whatever you're doing, if you're selling, products online, or if you just, incorporating like a outside business into, your 9-to-5, you want to make sure you have that structure that we talked about in part 1 down pat. Having that company account and having your systems running, in the same type of, with the same type of flow is important. So basically, just understanding that you are separating your money. That's basically what it is. That the income you have coming in is going to that system. And it's better when you do things based off of that system than just saying, I have X amount of dollars in my bank account and I do whatever with that money. If you're not breaking it up and allocating the money, then you're going to find out fast that the money is going to disappear. So that business structure, the account structure is really important. So now what that would entail is making sure that the money you have coming in, you are making sure that you put right back into the business and that you're paying yourself a salary. So, if you're making really good profit, you're going to have a lot of money coming in. You're going to have enough money to keep the business going. You're going to have money to pay the bills and really, survive and live. But there's going to be money left over. And then that money left over, again, you want to make sure you take in as much of that as possible and putting it back into the business. So basically what we talked about in part 1 is having your 3 months. Of course, by this time, you already have that 3 months out the way. You have your savings. You know how much is going to your bills. But now, since you started the company, you have this company account. So that's a whole nother separate account, your business account. Basically, we're going to get into this a little bit more. So as much money as possible, you want to have going into that business account. And I'm going to show you in a second about, we talked about this a little bit, about when you're setting up your LLC and you get your business account set up. And how that's really going to benefit you having that separate business account under an EIN. So when you have your EIN attached to that business account, it's a complete different social, and it's all attached to your business. And the more money you have in there, the better bank's going to look at you. So they want to see that you are continuously putting money in there, and then you're going to see what comes. You're going to see how, one, you're going to qualify for major loans. They're going to be just mailing you credit cards. Like, I can't tell you how many credit cards I just cut up. I had to turn away because they'll just start sending you crazy credit cards with crazy limits, and they really tempting. But if you're doing well with your business structure, you don't need to take these. But you want to make sure you have it set up that way so you are not missing out on any of the benefits that you can be getting by having your business structured correctly. And so when you have your separate business account, you got the money, the bulk of the money going in there. You have your bills and everything taken care of. You have a separate savings account for yourself. I mean, it's the way to go. It's the way you want your business to be structured. It's the way you want to have things going. In the beginning, it might not be much that you're putting in there, but that's how you start. Because what's going to happen is you want to make sure if something goes wrong, you have double, triple backup. You got your backup with your rent, your 3 months saved. You have the backup with your savings account, and you have the backup with your business account. That's huge. That's huge. And if you bank it with different banks, that's good. But if you have the same bank and they can see all of this structure that you have, and that, they basically want to see that they can trust you, you have this good, sound foundation for not just your personal life, but your business as well, you're going to see what happens. Eventually, credit score is going to go up, and you're really going to be able to do a lot more things. And if you have the imagination, if you know where you want to go with your company, you can now use that money to go ahead and branch out and do bigger things. So now a lot of you have sent me messages. A lot of people are still having problems with credit issues. You got to really understand how this whole thing works, especially now since 2008 with credit and banks being a lot more lenient with people's credit scores, because they know after 2008, a lot of people's credit, was messed up. The thing is, and what they're not telling us, is that there are rules to credit scores. There are laws. This is why if you ever apply for something, you got a letter back in the mail and they tell you why they have to send you that letter. If you notice you apply for something, you got turned down, it's like they send you a letter. It's like, no, it's no. Now, you'll notice if it's an official place, that's dealing with a bank, they'll send you out that letter. If it has to do with a loan, credit card, what have you, you'll get that letter. And the reason why is because they have to let you know by law that they looked at your credit report. And a lot of places know, because they looked at your credit report, your credit score went down. Forget all the bullshit these commercials is telling you when they say, oh, with Credit Karma, if you check your credit score, you know, it won't go down. Yeah, that's what Credit Karma. And that's what some other places. But other places, yes, when they check your credit score, it goes down. You're supposed to know your score. And that's one of the main things. So they kind of look at it as deceitful. You applying for something knowing your credit score is low, you know, and that's how they just look at it on a low. So your credit score kind of sort of goes down because it's almost like you lying and you going against your word. You're saying you're credit worthy, but you're not when we ran your credit. So it's like a point against you. This is some of the stuff they won't tell you. And the thing is, there's rules to it. So by law, they have to let you know, one, they check your credit. But two, you also have the right to refute any claim on your credit. And that's what it tells you in a letter, basically. You can go ahead and check with the credit bureau and refute any kind of claims. Now, also, you have statutes of limitations on credit reports. Now, everybody talk about, you know, the 7 years and everything like that. It's going to be off my credit and all that. You don't got time to wait 7 years. The whole thing is when you go ahead and dispute a lot of the claims on your credit report, they are mostly malicious. And let's just say, you know, you went and you got a phone, you ain't paid a cell phone bill. The cell phone bill is under a certain amount. You know, it's been a long time since then, and they sold your credit or sold your debt, let's say, to a creditor. That's some of the best things that can happen that a lot of people don't realize. When you get that letter or that phone call from a debt collector, that debt collector has just bought your debt. And what they do is, it's the new thing that's really big right now. What they do is they basically go to the banks, you know, let me see all the debt you have under 30,000, you know, and they say, well, take this off your hands. We'll give you 10 grand, you know, for this. You get some money. Now, a lot of times the initial loan probably wasn't even worth 30 grand. It could have been 5 grand because of penalties, and over time it and boosted up to about 30 grand. So you have cases like that. You have a lot of other cases where, I mean, you got to really realize they're just typing in numbers. So if it was like a credit card and it's just credit, and the person was not really having liquid cash, they was using credit a lot. We're talking about numbers here, and that's just keeping it real. So a lot of the times the bank take those deals if these companies that buy debt do multiple deals, so they get a nice big chunk of change. So once that's done, basically the debt has been sold off and is now forwarded to a creditor. So the bank will give the creditor, you know, the new collection agency, I should say, sorry, not creditor, but collection agency. They would give them the information on the person, and they will go ahead and pursue that whole situation. Now, the thing is, what you can do, if you go out, there's a lot of companies now that, you know, basically a lot of lawyers that do this now, that repair credit. And what these lawyers do is they go ahead and dispute all the claims on your credit report. So by law, a lot of these claims can be knocked off if the debt has been paid off by a person that buys debt, a debt collector or a debt buyer, and there was a payment on it, and there's a certain amount of money, it's a little cap, and there's a certain amount of times the cap for that as well, to where it doesn't apply to you no more. It's done. This is why when them debt collectors call and you leave them alone and you stop messing with them, after a while they go away because the time has run out. Now, some of them are pressed their luck. They'll hit you with all the little scams about sheriffs coming to your place and everything like that. A lot of scams they got. But really, once the lawyers get involved and you hire these people to come in, they can really wipe a lot of this stuff off your credit report, and it'll really boost your credit score. Now, this is for like personal credit, plain and simple. The reason why I'm saying this is what we're about to get into in a second is because a lot of you guys, and when I talk to a lot of people that send me the messages, a lot of you guys are not doing the LLCs. A lot of people are scared of the EINs and that whole process. You got to understand, this is America. This is America, and this is how you get around. This is how all these corporations we see everywhere, And all these people that's making big money, this is what they're doing. This is what I'm doing. And it's because of you having that EIN and having an LLC, it's going to get you places. Things like this is going to be what gets you by and really help your business grow, because then you're not going to be so much worried about the profits coming in from the business, because you're going to have this nice line of credit that's going to really get you through. And as the business grows, you know, you have those cushions there to really keep you going. I mean, when I started out, that's what really kept it going. Me having these lines of credit, me having my stock, me having my little bit of savings, me having my contingencies and everything like that. And then, you know, money just start coming in, and then, you know, you get these chunks of money and you just put it back into the company. You got your personal money. I was still able to do everything I wanted, bills completely paid, and still able to go out and do anything I wanted to do. But then you'll see the business account grows and grows, and the bank sees this. They know. So they're going to be on your top. They're going to be offering you everything, and you're going to qualify for everything. But the main thing, of course, is to grow the business. Keep it going. Figure out new ways to bring in different incomes and multiple incomes and keep the business growing. This is really important as you really move forward. It's a lot of you that have been sending me messages that started and doing good. This is what you need to make sure you're doing moving forward. So now I want to show you guys real quick about setting up your LLC and getting your EIN. I talked about this briefly before, but people was having more questions about the setup. Now, it's real basic, and the reason why I want you guys to choose LegalZoom is because, as you'll see with some of the other sites, you know, it's expensive, and even with LegalZoom, it's expensive depending on what state you're in. Different states, it's different to get your LLC and to get that out the way. The prices are different. They have different procedures, but at least with LegalZoom, because it's going to cost you somewhere between let's say $6,000 and $1,000 to get this thing set up. But at least with LegalZoom, they give you the option of making payments, and some of the sites don't do that. But let's take a look. Let's take a look. See on the website, it says here, business formation, LLC corporation. So you would click on that, and you have limited liability company. This is what you want to click on right here. And you just type in your name. So we're going to call this personal economics. You check availability. You put in your state. Excuse me, Nevada, of course, not Las Vegas. And it says, yeah, it's available. Hit get my LLC. And if you already have the business set up, you can get it soon. Feature day, and it's running already. So the business is already launched, and let's hit it's already running, and it's giving you basically some of the services it provides. For a lot of you guys, it'll be your first LLC, so you'll hit yes. And let's just type in online sales, and I already have it here for us. Online sales. Continue. If you're going to have employees, put it in, but for right now, no. And services it provides, they give you a free month of these services. Now, here you go with the simple operating agreement, $99. The operating agreement with the EIN, and here you go with the operating agreement, EIN, and the licenses. Might as well just get this one, the complete package. And you're required by law to basically have an expert, and you can have your own or you can use theirs. So you get the month service for a lot of this stuff for a month. I think it's only like $150, or it says $320 a year after all that. But you see here, you can wait a month for everything, 15 business days, or get it to 7 to 10 business days, the VIP service. And it's $349 plus the $425 for this state. And your state might be different, depending on where you live at. You might have way less. I know in California it's like 100 or something, in Pennsylvania it's 100 or something. But let's click this here, Gold Express. And again, what I talked about before with Bank of America, they have this here where, you know, you can basically get $300 for your business account. So let's click no thanks right now. And it's giving you the rundown. So as I said, it'll be like around $1,000 the total here. $973. Continue to checkout. And you know, once you enter all your information, everything right here, you see it gives you an installment plan for 3 months, $3, $26, $34, and it makes it easy for you to go ahead and take care of this in 3 months. And you know, it's easier for a lot of people versus paying, you know, $1,000 up front. So it's definitely something you might want to take advantage of. So now another thing people are really starting to see on social media and on the internet is the whole way to make money from t-shirts. A lot of people are being really creative, but the process right now, understanding that it's a huge market. So many people wear t-shirts, and it's something you can wear in the winter and in the summer as well. And if you have, I mean, the right designs, it's just, you know, sky's the limit. And it's a lot of creative designs out there right now that a lot of people are using and a lot of people are buying.